right, so welcome to another yoga flow. Today I just want to bring a couple of things to your attention before we get started. Very useful thing to have for this flow is going to be a yoga block or two, or a book or something to help bring the floor up to you. And then also I have put a playlist link in the description so that you can listen to music as we go ahead and start. So I'm going to give us just a few minutes to allow people to get to log in and such. Just going to check one thing really quickly. Right, so it looks like everything is loading and working. Just wanted to do a quick double check on that before we got too far into this. All right, so for those of you who are watching now, go ahead, get set up on your mat. If you're watching later, just go ahead and get that Spotify playlist up and open, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, okay. So go ahead, get your mat going. So we have some blocks. Books will do just fine here. We're going to go ahead and start in a child's pose. Your child's pose is going to be bringing your big toes together and your knees as wide as your mat. So we're going to go ahead and try and keep our hips as low down as we can as we bend forward and reach those hands out long in front of us. Forehead comes to the mat. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Taking a second to center on what's happened today. Maybe you just finished that awesome workout. Maybe you just took some time for yourself today. Close your eyes here. Relax into the ground. Now, if this is really painful on your hips here, this is a great place to bring a block just right underneath your chest or a book so that it brings the ground up closer to you. Quieting your mind here, focusing in on that breath. In through your nose. Let it all go out through your mouth. We're going to work on slowing down that breath a little bit. So we're going to slow down the breath so it goes in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out through your mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time in for 4, 3, 2, 1. And out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, just because I stopped counting doesn't mean that you lose control in that breath. I'm going to go ahead and move this block here. From here, we're gonna go ahead and start to wake up the body a little bit. You're gonna reach those fingertips out long, walk those fingertips out. So you're going out over your body, push into that left hip, really extend through that side body here. Option to intensify by bringing that left hand right on top of the right hand. But always an option to keep them parallel. Feel that stretch in the shoulder, down the whole left side into the left hip. Inhale, exhale it out. And walk those hands through the middle. And you guessed it, go on to the left side. So just like we did on the other side, push those hands down, reach them long, and push your right hip back. Let that head rest on the ground here. Option to bring that right hand on top of your left hand to intensify, or to keep them parallel. Feeling this all along the right side of your body here. Deep breath in and out. All right, we're going to go ahead, bring those hands back in. We're going to come up. Oh, no, we're not. Excuse me. You can't hear right now. Okay. Sorry about that. So you're going to go ahead, bring those elbows to the ground. You're going to bend those arms behind your head, sink that head back to the ground, and you're going to clasp those fingers together and put them behind your head. As you push your chest down a little bit, you should feel this in your triceps. If you need more intensity, you can grab those books or blocks, put them underneath your elbows, and clasp and sink down into this move. We're getting into those shoulders, waking them up here. One more deep breath in, exhale it out. Extend those arms long, move the blocks aside if you had them there. We're going to go ahead, come on up to hands and knees, tabletop position. And we're going to do a couple cat-cows here. So starting with our cow, we're going to push those hands into the ground, let the belly reach down, bring the chest through the shoulders, looking up to the ceiling. Inhaling here. Exhale, arch through the spine. Push in between those shoulder blades, pushing as hard as you can into the ground and looking back towards your navel. Exhale. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Push through the spine. 2 more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Go ahead, come down back to that neutral spine. From here, we're going to warm up those wrists a little bit by going into a circular motion. So push those hands all the way down, each of those fingers down, and we're going to circle up, around, and to the right, back to the left. So you're making a giant circle over those wrists. It doesn't have to be a giant circle, a circle over those wrists going towards the right. Really trying to push down into each one of those fingers as you do this. I'm going to go ahead and do one more in this direction. And switch directions. Now we're going to go up to the left, back to the right, making that circle going towards the left. Not forgetting to push down to your palm where your fingers meet your hand. Last one here, big circle around. All right, come on up. We're gonna go ahead, shake out those wrists for a second. So we have a couple more wrist things we're gonna do. So our peak pose today is that we're gonna try and go into something called a flying frog. Totally an option, not required, but that's what we're gonna be working up for. So we're gonna go ahead, bring those hands back down here. Now you're gonna reach those fingertips out to the side, so they're going away from each other. So for me, one's going towards the camera, the other's going towards the back wall here. From here, I'm gonna move right to left with my body. I'm going over those wrists, side to side. Again, not forgetting to push down into those hands here. Go one more each side. Go ahead, sit back. We're going to change the direction again. This time, your fingertips are going to point in towards each other, okay? So they're going to go down in towards each other, and again, side to side. This is going to feel a little different here. So these will also be really good for you as you're doing a lot of typing, a lot of texting, all those things that tend to build a lot of tension in your wrists and forearms. All right, go ahead, sit back. Last one here. We have one more direction to go, so we're going to flip those fingertips back towards our knees, planting down here. Now, if you already feel the pull on those forearms, stay right here. Perfect. If you feel like you can intensify this a little bit more, you're going to sit backwards, dropping those hips back towards those heels. All right? Really pushing into the heels of your palm here. Breathing through this. All right. We're going to sit all the way back, and as we do, we're going to lift up those hands. Just roll them out here. Great job. They should feel nice and toasty now. All right. So now we're going to do some scapular push-ups. And this is just to emphasize kind of the difference that we're looking for in the cat-cow, chaturanga, and planks, and push-ups, all those things that we do and all of our other workouts are still as important here. So as a reminder, when you're doing a cat-cow, I'm really arching through the back, right? When I'm doing any sort of power move through my shoulders, I want to be thinking about pushing through my shoulder blades here. So we're going to do a couple push-ups, and by that, I mean you're going to stick those hands down. We're going to let just the chest draw through as we pull those shoulder blades together. And then we're going to push up through those shoulder blades. The movement's going to be really tiny. It's almost like there's a string right in between those shoulder blades that's letting you drop down and pushing back up. And your shoulder blades are moving together and apart to move and make room for your chest. Last one here. All right. So that top position, that like where our spine is connected to a string that's pulling up into the sky, that's what we're looking for in all of our planks and what we're doing next, which is a bear position, hovering tabletop. Go ahead, bring those hands back down into our tabletop. We're going to start by coming up into that scapular push-up. Really turn on those shoulders, tuck those toes under, and lift just an inch off the ground. Push through the shoulder blades. Squeeze those armpits in and rest. Just going to do this 2 more times. All right, push up through the shoulders. Bring those knees up, hovering, squeeze, extend through those shoulders and rest. Last one, shake it out. All right, so we're going to push through those shoulder blades, hover those knees, pushing here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Woo, shake it out. Sorry, I know you guys just did a workout, but we get a little bit of strength in here too. All right, so we're going to go straight into our first vinyasa here. So we're going to go ahead, go onto that tabletop. We're gonna go ahead, tuck those knees under. Don't worry, we're not doing a hovering tabletop. We're gonna go ahead and push those hips up into the air for our first downward facing dog. Pedaling out those feet by pushing down one heel at a time. And even here, we're thinking about what we just did with our wrists, our hands, and pushing into the ground. Our shoulders are turned on. They're supporting you so that your back doesn't have to in this position. And from here, we're also thinking about how that invisible string that we had earlier is now connected to our hips. It's pulling up, right? So we're gonna go ahead and come to a rest here. All right, let's go ahead and walk those toes up to meet our hands. We're gonna go ahead, gentle bend in the knees, hanging forward here. Maybe grasping at those elbows, swaying side to side. Reconnecting with that breath after all that strength work we just did to warm up. All right, bring those hands back towards the ground. We're gonna go ahead, lift up to that halfway lift by bringing those fingertips right underneath that knee, flatten out the back. Fold back down. Gentle bend in the knees as we sweep those arms up to the sky, mountain pose. Roll those shoulders back and down. Turn on those abs so that we're not flaring out those ribs here. See, all the same things are still true in boot camp yoga. All right, so from here, we're gonna go ahead, wrap those arms down, swing them down. As we come down to the ground, we're gonna pop up onto those toes, push into those shoulders for a crouching curl. All right, plant those hands, keeping that scapular engagement here. We're gonna step back one leg at a time into our plank. Hold in here. We're gonna go ahead and roll those hips up and back into your down dog. Beautiful. All right, so today we're gonna work a little bit on chaturangas because we've been working on some of the elements already. So one of the main parts of that is rolling in and out of your down dog. So we're gonna practice that by going from plank to down dog 3 times here. So we're gonna go ahead and roll forward, up onto your tippy toes, pull through those shoulders until your plank stacked up on your plank here, and then lead with the hips, push up, 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 down dog. All right, last one here. Push up on the toes, lead through the hips, rolling up and over, hold that plank, push through the shoulders, pull through the hips, back to that downward dog. All right, I lied, we have to go into plank one more time. All right. Roll forward, stack onto those shoulders, drop the knees, untuck the toes, come onto the ground. Whew, my goodness. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bring those hands right next to our shoulders, elbows plug in and back. We're gonna bring the head up, lifting up the chest slightly, bring those toes together and plug them into the ground. Cobra. Deep breath in. Exhaling out here. Whew, all right. So from here, we're gonna go ahead, back on up to our tabletop. Tuck those toes back into downward dog. All right, let's go ahead and go through that whole sequence 2 more times. We're gonna make it a little bit faster though, so we don't have to do all the repetitions. Step those toes forward. Inhale here. Exhale, coming up to halfway lift, flat back. Inhale, back down. Exhale, coming up to mountain pose. Plug in those shoulders. Inhale to even out. Exhale, sweep those arms down. Oops, there we go. There we go. All right, I lost you guys for a second. Coming up onto those tiptoes. Plug into those shoulders. Plant the hands and step back one leg at a time. All right, lead with the hips. Rolling up to down dog. Roll back forward into plank. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, coming all the way down to the ground. Bring those fingertips back, elbows back. Deep breath in. Exhale. And up to your cobra. Plug in those shoulders down. Exhale, come back down. Option to add in a little push-up here by tucking those toes. Pushing all the way up to a plank. Back to down dog. Walking those feet in. All right, deep breath in. Exhale, walk those fingertips up. Halfway lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale, bend the knees, coming up to mountain. Exhale, back down. Bending the knees, come up onto the toes, crouch and curl. Hands, keep those shoulders nice and engaged. Step back one at a time. Lead with the hips, rolling back into down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, roll forward into that plank. Drop those knees, untuck the toes, coming all the way down to the ground. Plug in those elbows, rolling them back. Inhale here. Exhale, lighten the fingertips this time. Bring those toes together. Exhale, back down. Bring those fingertips a little bit more forward. Tuck the toes. Option for a push-up. All the way up. Roll those hips back. All right, we're going to move on forward into our vinyasa 2. Go ahead, walk those toes in forward. Forward fold here. We're going to go ahead and move into our chair by bringing those big toes together. Just a tiny amount of space in between those heels. Bending the knees, sinking those hips back. Arms come up overhead. Keeping a nice flat back here. We're not arching the booty out. Just keeping it nice and straight here. Arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, ski pull those arms back. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, arms back. Last time, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, arms go back. Inhale, bring those hands up and let those hands fall back down into a forward fold. From here, we're going to go just straight into the down dog. We don't have to go into the plank this time. So step one, foot back at a time. Downward dog. We're going to lift the right leg up. Nice flexed foot here. From here, we're going to go ahead and do a couple of knee engagement things. So we're going to go ahead, crunch the knee into our right elbow as we come forward with our body. Knee to right elbow, back to three-legged dog. Knee to nose, engage those shoulders to make space. Three-legged dog. Knee to opposite elbow, twist through the body. Three-legged dog. All right, you may be wondering why I have us do that. It's for this reason. We're gonna go ahead, come through that knee to nose position. Now, since we've engaged our shoulders, we have the space to stick that front leg down. All right, so now we're in a low lunge. So from here, we're gonna go ahead, drop that back knee, untuck those toes, arms come up overhead, reaching up. Bring those hands to heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna lean forward. Bring the left arm across our body to the right elbow. And this might be enough right here. You can just leave it right here. Option to bring that top hand on top and use it to push your body into a bigger twist. Deep breath in, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale out through your mouth. One more, just like that. Deep breath in. Exhale out. All right, go ahead, release that prayer twist. We're gonna go ahead, pop the back knee up. And then we're gonna go ahead, put our hands onto our front knee to help lift us up. Arms come up overhead to a full crescent lunge. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a warrior 2. I'm gonna switch sides so that I'm not facing you guys. So we're in our crescent lunge here. We're going to go ahead, bring our hands down to foot center. Twist the back foot so that it's parallel with the edge of your mat. Your front leg should still be facing forward, but if you drew a line from your heels to the back, it would go right into the middle. All right, we're going to bring those arms out to the side, pushing down. Exaggerate those shoulders, really turn them on here. Pushing out like there's energy coming out through your fingertips. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Maybe working in and out of this first time in Warrior Two. And exhale, hold. Inhale, we're going to shift our body forward. You might know what's coming next. We have an extended side pose. We're going to bring that elbow down to your front knee. Left arm comes up overhead. Make sure you're really engaging your side body here so you're not sinking into that side, right? We're reaching up, up, up here. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going into a reverse warrior. We're going to extend that arm, circle it through the sky. Left arm makes contact with left leg, reaching up and back. Deep breath in. Exhale out. All right, we're going to go forward in that extended side angle one more time. Reach forward. Elbow comes to knee. Left arm comes up. Engage the side. Option here to straighten out that bottom arm. Deep breath in. Exhale. Extend through those arms. Reaching back. Reverse warrior. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. We're going to circle sweep those arms so they come down to the mat. I'm going to go ahead and find my notes here. There we go. So we're going to go into options. You have a Chaturanga flow. We're going back through that cobra we were doing earlier. Option for the Chaturanga, we're going to bring that leg back, extended plank here, right? We're going to reach forward onto our tiptoes, bending down into the elbows, half push up, tuck the toes under, and push the body forward, all right? So we have our chest coming through the sides. Always an option to drop those knees. It will put pressure on your back though, so try and really lift up through those knees here. Deep breath in, exhale, tuck the toes, push up through those hips. Exactly what we were doing before. Downward dog. There we go. All right, we're going to do it on the other side. Inhale, lift that left leg up, flex those toes. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, crunch it and push into those shoulders. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Push through the shoulders, make space. Exhale, back to three-legged dog. So I'm saying exhale over and over. All right, so inhale here. Exhale, bring that left leg across to the right elbow. Nice twist. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. All right, so the whole purpose of that, move through knee to nose, push through the shoulders, make space so that you drop that left foot down. From here, we're going to go ahead, drop that back knee. Arms come up overhead. Nice low lunge. We're going to bring our hands to the heart center. Bring your right arm across to your left knee. Option to bring that left arm on top of that. There we go. On top of that arm, excuse me, hand. There we go. And pushing into the chest to nice open up here. Looking up to the ceiling. Deep breath in. Exhale out. One more deep breath in. Exhaling out. Right, go ahead, drop those hands. A nice low lunge here. Tuck the toes of the back leg under. Bring up that knee. We're going to bring our hands to our front knee. Ooh, to find that balance as we come up into our lunge. Arms come up overhead. Wobbles are good. It's what builds those stabilizing muscles. All right, heading into that warrior two, bring those hands down to heart center. Parallel the back leg back. Maybe shift the front leg if you need a little bit more space. Arms shoot out and push down, engaging those shoulders. Deep breath in. Exhale out. All right, a few times through that forward and back flow. Reaching forward to our extended side angle. Drop that elbow onto your knee. Right arm shoots to the sky, engaging that side body. Pushing up, up, up. Deep breath in. Exhale, extend the arms, sweep back until your right arm reaches down to that right leg. Bring up and over. Deep breath in. Exhale out. All right, we're gonna sweep forward back into that side angle. Arm comes up. Option here to extend that bottom arm all the way, or just keep it bent. Deep breath in. Exhale, extend up through, back into that reverse lunge. Warrior, excuse me. Deep breath in. Exhale, sweep both arms forward. They're gonna come back down. Center that back leg. All right, option to go through that warrior, the vinyasa one sequence, or to go through our full chaturanga here. Push down into those hands. We're gonna bring the leg back into our plank. From here, push onto the toes, shift forward, coming down into a half push-up, bringing those elbows in to support you. From here, tuck those toes under, push up through the upper body. Deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the toes under. String attached to the hips as they pull up into your down dog. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Building some heat here. All right, go ahead, step those hands up. We're gonna hang out here in our forward fold for just a couple of seconds. Just breathing through all that work we just did. So we're gonna do one more time on each side, but it's gonna be a little different, so listen for the changes. All right, we're gonna go ahead, bring those hands down, bring those feet together so big toes touch, a little bit of space in between the heels. Going back into that chair, bend the knees, heels go back, arms come up overhead, deep breath in. Exhale, arms go out long. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, arms go long. All right, inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, straighten those legs. Inhale here, exhale, step back into downward dog. All right, so we're going to skip a couple of things, but add a couple of things too. So go ahead, lift that right leg up. Deep breath here, in. Exhale, just knee to nose, make that space. Drop the right foot. We've got our lunge. Dropping the back knee down, untuck those toes. Arms come up overhead. Hands come to heart center. Left elbow comes over the right knee, pushing in to that knee. Deep breath here. Exhale, untwist. Hands come back to the ground. Tuck the toe under. Bring up that back leg. Hands come to your front knee as you wobble on up. Hands come straight by the ears. We're going to go ahead, bring those hands to chest. You guys know what's coming. Warrior two. Flatten the back leg out. Bring those arms out to the side. Turn on the shoulders here so you can see from the back. You can see my shoulders turn on and down in this warrior two position. Deep breath in. Exhale, shoot forward with the body. Elbow comes to leg. Arm comes over your head. Option to hover off that leg. Deep breath in, exhale, reverse warrior. Sweeping back, left hand touches left knee. Inhale here. Exhale, circle sweep those arms. Bring those hands down to the ground. Untuck, straighten out that back heel. From here, we're gonna go ahead, bring that right leg out to the side of your mat. So you're gonna shuffle it out so there's more space here for your right hand to come down in the middle. Drop that back knee, untuck those toes. We are in a runner's lunge here. Now this may feel great for you. Options here to grab a block, bringing it underneath to give yourself more space up, or to come down onto those elbows on the block or on the ground here. Breathing here, maybe letting that head drop, maybe circling it side to side, finding what feels best for you here. Really working on pushing those hips forward instead of letting them arch up. In here, exhale it out. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out. If you have a block, put within arm's reach of you. You're going to plant those hands if you haven't already. We're going to go ahead, shift the hips back just a little bit, walk the hands back, and we're going to bring the knee back. All right, so we just have a little bit more space. Our end goal here is to come into a frog Malasana squat. So to do that, we're going to push the hands into the ground, tuck the toe under, and then step into a wide squat here. So my feet are as wide as the mat. My elbows are pushing out onto my knees and I'm sitting down. All right, if this does not feel good for you, come up or grab your block and go ahead and sit on it. What we're doing here is we're pushing out on those knees with the elbows to allow that space to open up in the inner thighs and hips. Trying to work to open up the chest instead of letting it cave forward. Breathing here. Exhale it out. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out. Bring those hands to the ground and bring those hips up to a forward fold. All right, last time here. We're going to bring those big toes together, hips, legs, and heels just a little bit apart. Bend the knees, sink the hips back, arms up overhead, short pose. Inhale, exhale, arms forward back. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, straighten out the legs, forward fold. Push the hands down, step back into that downward dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, raise the left leg up. Flexing in that hip. Just the one knee to nose here, so bend the knee, bring it tight into the nose, make space with your shoulders, and drop that left foot. From here, drop the back leg, untuck those toes, arms come up overhead. Keep breath in. Exhale, hands come to heart center, bringing the right elbow across the left knee. Big twist in that spine here. One more deep breath in and exhale. Bring those hands back to center. We're going to go ahead, tuck that back leg. Bring that back knee up. Hands come to front knee to help us rise up. Arms come up overhead. Deep breath in. Exhale, parallel the back leg. Twisting your body open to the side. Turn on those shoulders, looking over that front hand. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. All right, just one time through this flow, reaching up and over that front knee. Left arm comes to left knee, right arm comes up. And up overhead. Inhale here, exhale. Sweep those arms up, paint the ceiling. Right arm to right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, circle sweep those arms, send them down to the ground. Straighten out that back heel. Bring that back knee down. We're going to bring that left leg, that left foot, excuse me, all the way to the side of our left. Left arm comes in the middle. And we're just going to stay here in our runner's lunge here just for a few breaths. Option to just hang out here with our arms extended. Option to grab that block, bring this up higher. Or option to intensify by coming down onto the block or onto the ground, really working to push down in those hips. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Just like that. Last one. Exhale out. Extend your arms if they were extended already. We're going to go ahead and transition into that frog lunge. So walk those hands back. Bring that foot back to match. And now we have space to tuck that back toe up and bring it up to match the other one. All right, sitting down here, I'm going to stay in this angle so you guys can see my back a little bit better. Always an option to bring that block underneath here. Using those elbows to push those legs open. Open up the spine, turn those shoulders down. Open up that chest. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Two more just like that. In. Last one in. And out. Go ahead, plant those hands. And we're going to go ahead, come on up. Wiggle out those legs, running one knee at a time. All right, friends, let's go ahead, have a seat. I'm going to walk you through an option. So, a couple of options for our next part. We have the option to start working on a couple of inversions, and an inversion is any time that your head is beneath your legs. So this is a really baby one. It's working towards the muscles that you're going to use in a crow pose, but this one is called flying frog. We're starting with that frog squat we were just doing, but then planting our hands and trying to lift those toes off the ground. That sounds like something that's really exciting for you. Great to join me there. If that sounds something that you do not want to do, your body does not want right now, no problem at all. I'm going to give you the option to either hang out in that frog squat that we were doing before, or to come back into our beginning pose, that child pose, sitting back with an option for a pillow or a block underneath your chest. So you're just going to hang out there for, I think it'll be about a minute that we're just going to play with this, and then we'll join you there. So, my flying frogs, we are going to go ahead and start. I'm going to show you one first, and then I'll have you join me. So, doing our flying frog, we're going to start in that frog position, that wide, open up those feet, sitting nice and low. We've got our hands together, opening up on the sides. From here, we're going to bring those hands to the ground. This is your first one. If this feels all right, perfect. You can stay right here. If you'd like to move on, you're going to go ahead, plant those hands, and reach forward with that body, just coming up onto your tip toes. We're going to rock forward and back here. So your elbows will be kind of digging into your inner thighs, just going forward and back. Just seeing what that feels like to put more weight onto your hands. All right, if that's feeling pretty good for you, you'd like to try and lift those toes off. We're going to bring those elbows in a little bit more, thinking about that Chaturanga half push-up arms. And we're going to go ahead and lean forward, 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 until we lift off one toe at a time. Really pushing into that scapular, those shoulder blades to allow you to keep lifted here. My abs are on, my shoulders are on, my legs are on, everything's working. Keep it up in the air. Deep breath in. Exhale, come back down. Whew. Wow. Feel free to give that another try or two. If you are completely done with that, we're going to go ahead and meet in child's pose. Deep breath in and exhale. Calm it down in that excitement we just had. Just a few more breaths here. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhaling out. If you're still playing with that flying frog, go ahead and meet us here. So one last deep breath in and exhale out. All right, great news, folks. We are going into our full sitting cool down. So we're going to go ahead and shift onto our hips, sitting back in just a regular seated position here. We're going to stretch out those legs just a little bit more. I know my hamstrings have been really tight when I was sitting and all of that stuff. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and extend our right leg out long. Flex the toes towards the face. Left leg comes in to reach the thigh, at the knee, at the wherever it needs to go to feel most comfortable. For me, it feels most comfortable a little bit more tucked into my pelvis here. So options here to just stay. If this already feels like a stretch for you, stay right here. If you're feeling ready, we're going to go ahead and twist our body towards that toe. Walk those hands down, down, down. Keeping a nice flat back here, so not curving over. Nice flat back. Once you start to curve, this will be a back stretch instead of a leg stretch. If this feels great, you can keep on going. Maybe clasp the leg. If you really are feeling extra bendy tonight, you can grab a block and put it behind that. Just kind of hang out here. But the point here is keeping a nice flat back. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Last one in. And exhale out. Walk those hands back up. We're going to go into a little bit of an opposite movement just to open up those hips. Left arm's going to come back behind you. Your left leg is going to roll onto the shin as you lift up those hips. Roll the right arm back as you lift those hips up to the sky, stargazer pose. Breath in. Exhale, lower those hips. That's one of my favorite ways to look at them. All right, we're going to go and switch it out. So left leg goes long, right leg comes in. Bring that torso over your left leg. Bring those hands down and walk them down as long as you can keep your back straight and it feels good for you. Again, option from all the way down, elbows to the ground, block behind if you need a little bit more, but working on keeping that back. Exhale. Exhale in. Exhale. All right, walk those hands up again, stargazer on the sun. Right arm comes behind you, shifting onto that right shin as you lift the hips up to the sky. Left arm comes up overhead, reaching back. Deep breath in. Exhale, drop those hips down. All right, you guys have earned it. Time to lay down. So we're going to go ahead. Let that left leg go long. Right knee comes into your chest, pulling it in. Deep breath in here. Exhale. Bring that right knee across your body. Tee out those arms, looking towards the opposite side of the leg. Maybe closing your eyes here. Breathe in. And exhale out. Next time in. Exhale out. Good. Then grab onto that bent knee. We're going to bring it back up to middle. Let that leg go long. Maybe feel the difference between the two legs now. Bring that left knee into your chest. Inhale here. Exhale. Comes across your body. Tee out those arms. Working to keep both your shoulder blades on the ground. That's much more important than your knee touching the ground. This is about your back stretch, not about your knee touching the ground. Maybe closing your eyes here. Exhale out. And more just like that. In. And out. Grab onto that knee, bringing it up through the middle. And letting it go long. Alright. Last one here. Both knees come deep into your chest. Wrapping those arms around, maybe bringing them all the way around so that you can touch the other arm. And just rubbing out to those knees. Just pull it in and in. And exhale out. Shavasana. Relaxing onto the ground. We'll be there for 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half. Giving yourself time to think about all the things that you've accomplished today, all the challenges that you took for yourself, but all the breaks you gave yourself. There's a lot of pressure right now to be using all this quote-unquote free time to be productive. This is not a productivity break. It is a break for our society's health, and that means your health, your mental health, your physical health. And sometimes that means letting it go. Relaxing your face muscles, letting your tongue detach from the way you're thinking now. Letting your breath slow. Maybe doing that breathing practice we did at the beginning. You slow down your breath. Like paying attention to your breathing, your body, and the muscles that have contracted in. Now that we're trying to release, we're honoring the space that we just made. If you'd like to stay here, please do. Be ready to move on for the evening. I'm going to go ahead and start by wiggling my toes and my fingers, and walking those heels side to side, ignoring my wrists, but starting to bring movement up just the tiniest of ways. Still keeping those eyes closed. Deepening your breath flow. Exhale out. Bend those knees. We're going to rock onto one side into a fetal position, using our bicep as a pillow. And use those arms, those hands to help push you up into a seated position, crossing those legs. Hands come to knees. Breath in through the nose. Exhaling it out. Open those out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you all taking time for yourself and to not only strengthen your body with the boot camps and the yoga programs too, but also giving yourself space to focus on your breath and your mental health. Those of you who have met me know that I'm a clinical psychology graduate student right now, and so I have a lot of vested interest in everyone's mental health right now. If that's something that's bothering you, or if you feel unsupported or would like more support there, please send me a message. I have lots of resources and I'm always willing to talk. Thanks everyone, and I hope you have a lovely evening. All right, bye.